Alan Palmer here, NASDOG, where you get the best dope in the markets. What are we looking at here? We got gold up 25 bucks. Silver is kind of a high flyer here. Let's just take a look at the silver. I don't usually want to lead off with this, but here we can see the low is 26.65. We got a dollar rally here. 26.65, okay? So you can see right here, 26.65, 26.68. Something else right on top of that, 26.69 and a half. Okay, and then we closed, that was where we closed the week. Okay, and this is where we are now. We got a couple of small areas here. These are large, a little bit larger areas. These are even larger areas. That's silver. If one was long, for example, if a client was long here, these might be a couple areas here to sell this thing. This thing is really clawing back here. Government spending $1 trillion every 100 days. Comes out to $42,000 per family of four. Out of control. We're looking at the S&P here. This was the day before unemployment. This was the unemployment, okay? On the day session, we gap higher. We come back into a couple of these reds. Get a couple of reds here. Okay, just this area. Here's another red. Okay, and then all of a sudden here, Monday, we gap up here, and you can see this one blue trend line here. Here we broke it, and, we're kind of playing around some numbers. All you do is look at where we are last here. If you need a couple levels here, these would be your levels here. So you got some levels up above here. You got levels higher. Here's one that was kind of a sleeper. This is soybean meal. Commodity funds are short. Okay, actually in here they're long. They just got flipped and got long meal contracts as of last week. And here you can see a head. We got a head. Here's either a shoulder over here, shoulder over here. Okay, head and shoulders bottom. Here you come up to this blue rising trend line here. You got a couple other lines. These are long-term lines. Come up the first time, okay, and then the second time is a different story. You come up to this big blue line. Anyway, we got just right here, we got some of these olive lines. We have just taken it out and we are over it here, okay? So over here, my next areas would be up above here. That's in 390. This is at 380.20 here. We're just 380.60 high. Let's take a look at corn here. Same kind of thing. You got a head and shoulders bottom. Okay, you can make a case here. This blue trend line here. And when we get over these trend lines, okay, we get over this blue trend line here, and we came back down 454 and a quarter. Wow. In the overnight last night, we got down to 54. We are 15 cents higher right now here. We just cleared this little stuff right here. Next area would be up around 480. Here's the same thing. These are soybeans. Okay. You got a head here and some kind of shoulder over here. Do not have here. I have some small necklines right here around 1190 here. Came up the first time, okay, you came back down into these olives the second time, okay. If, in fact, you were going to buy, you'd have to have a sell stop underneath here because if you make new lows. We just took out this 1240, and now we're running. Funds are short up the yin-yang here. Here you can see a light green here. You can see a purple line. You can see some old pink. Okay, so this is where we are here. In my book, my next number would be up about 40 cents higher. Here we're looking at a soft commodity here. This is coffee. We came up to this olive line sell. There was a larger degree orange. The sequence goes green. Then there's another green in there. This green over here goes with that orange up here. But of a little bit of a smaller sequence here. You got the green, then you got an orange stuck in there. See that? You got the orange and the green are about the same. You come here for 2 days. You come up here, you take out this olive line here. Olive line sell. That'd be an olive line sell, okay? You're running up here. You run from $1.80 up to 243. And so now all of a sudden here, we're going to go look at cotton after this. This thing here, you got a little head and shoulders top. Okay, here you could add shoulder over here. Here, this is kind of symmetrical here. You draw this trend line here. This trend line is taken off here, but somewhere around there. Okay, so you come down here, you hold this trend line one more time, you come up here, hit a couple, you got a couple lines. Okay, if you were going to make a bet, you'd have a sell this with a buy stop right above this area. Okay, tight. And here we come down, and here, this is actually the 50-day moving average. It was the low Friday. Okay, the low pivot Friday, think pivot. And then today it's the high. Okay, now here we are into some of these reds. Okay, and wow, 195.25. We just hit this. Yeah, let's go look at a. Let's go look at a. This is an intraday chart here. Okay, this is the intraday. We just printed it exactly here. Let me bump it up a little bit higher sequence. You know what? Let's go up one more. No, we don't have any sequences, but here you could see this head and shoulders top here. Okay, and then you come down. Funds are long coffee. They were long 40,000 as of last Tuesday. So this would be a liquidation trade, okay? So, just think of this. If you're long 40,000 of these puppies and right now it's down 2 grand or one lot, 5 times 4 is about 2 grand. And, get under here, to me, that'd be my next level. And when I talk about the softs here, before I had touched on cocoa, last week cocoa's gone to all-time highs. We went from like 30 or 40 up to 120, okay? All-time ever highs in the cocoa. It's nuts. And anyway, but that broke 30% here, and this was cotton here. Let's look at a daily in cotton here. On the way up, just like coffee and cocoa. And then you do some kind of top, and then all of a sudden you're holding some levels, and then you start to give up, and then you go vertical to some other levels here, and then you go vertical to a green. Actually, there's 2 greens right there. Okay, you bust through it, gives you a signal. You come up to these powder blues. Here you go. Where were those powder blues? I think we just blew it up here. These are. Oh no, there's the powder blues up here. See, powder blue right there. Okay, and then. Here, this is a trend line on an intraday. Ignore that. We came into some olive line buys. I have 2 sets of them here. Okay, and this is just really one set. It's just the way I do it. This would be mine right here, the 75.42, 74.77 would be the same exact algo with the data tweaked a little bit different. Okay, so last Friday, today's Monday. Okay. We finished our annihilation here. Funds were long this stuff, and we rallied 500 points from 75 almost up to 80. Today was the high was 80. Call it 80 cents, 79.94. Wow, we were right up in here. This is in the overnight market, okay? That's why it's not on here. Anyway, we opened lower here, about 200 lower. We came back down in these olives. It's the second time down, but these are decent. These would be olive line buys. We rallied up here. We're coming around here steady on the day, and now we're breaking back down here. So these would be some areas of interest if one was interested in trading cotton. Okay, let's just look here at cattle here. Now listen, I'm not saying anything. Ignore all this, ignore all that. Okay, we're just looking over in this area right here. Okay, right? Because all we care about is which way we're going from here. I'm sending this out to clients here. I think, for example, here you can see a downward sloper, another downward sloper, another downward sloper. You got all these right here. Okay, if in fact we are going to move above, say this, and this one's only 10 cents above here, this might go up to the next level, okay? I'm not here, since some of these will go out in public here, I'm not here to tell somebody how to speculate. If you want to learn, some of the rules and some risk management rules from a floor trader. And these are definitely markets that have gone back to the 1970s, which have been predicted by NASDOG. That now it's been for a while, but we are here for the last couple years. We are here.